From SwissWatchExpo. Spotlight on Chronograph Watches. Our picks for the most iconic chronographs of all time. The chronograph is one of the most popular complications for watches. In fact, it's a category all on its own. Aside from being useful for everyday life, chronographs remain popular because of their variety. The abundance of dials, pushers, scales, and crowns give room for a lot of creativity in style and design. There are hundreds of chronographs being released every year, but there are a few that have stood the test of time. Check out our picks for the most iconic chronographs ever. While chronographs are closely associated with sport and racing, the IWC Portuguese Chronograph is decidedly refined in design. The Portuguese started as a time-only watch, but in the mid-1990s, IWC decided to make the automatic chronograph version, now one of the brand's most successful watches of all time. The simple round dial, two vertical subdials, and thin, propeller-style hands will remain timeless, even 50 years from now. Tag Heuer is a brand closely associated with the world of auto racing. It has created many outstanding chronographs, the most famous of which is the Carrera. Created by former CEO Jack Heuer, he sought to make a watch intended mainly for motor racing, a niche that was underserved back then. Today's Carreras come in an extensive range of designs. And, as the brand's direction is creating watches for the future, they are more avant-garde and racing-inspired. Up next, we have the Breitling Navitus, the chronograph of choice among pilots and aviation enthusiasts. Its characteristic slide rule bezel is no longer a necessity in manning flights, but it is still very much part of the Navitus's identity and aesthetic. The Navitus has evolved into different styles and sizes over the decades, but there are models in production that are still very close to the original, proving the timelessness of its design. Our list won't be complete without the Rolex Chronograph Daytona. It was designed to meet the needs of professional drivers and was launched in 1963. Named after the Daytona International Speedway, and seen on the wrists of racing legends, the Rolex Daytona easily takes us back to the glory days of racing in the 1960s. What was meant for the racing circuit is today one of the most sought-after watches on the new and vintage market. The Daytona combines good looks, heritage, and excellent wearability. And for our top pick, we have the Omega Speedmaster Professional. Launched in 1957, it is most famously known for being the first watch on the moon. While it was originally created for the racetrack, the Omega Speedmaster was the only watch to meet NASA's incredibly tough standards. It continues to be their official timepiece until today. Today's Omega Speedmaster is still very similar in style to the one worn on Apollo 11, and is run by virtually the same caliber that powered it through the lunar landing. Timeless, indeed. There you have it. Our picks for the 5 most iconic chronographs. Which one was your favorite? Tell us in the comments section. Want to learn more? For the best and the latest in watches, head over to the Watch Club by SwissWatchExpo. For more videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel.